Hey, 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 this is Miss Camay on the Miss Camay Show. Hello, hello, hello. It is a beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest today. The sun is finally shining. I know summer is on the way. Friday was the official day of the first day of spring. And Lord, please bring me some sunshine. I am ready for the summer. We are live in the studio today with Miss Sylvia Hardie, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada, the city of entertainment itself. I want to thank my sponsors for sponsoring the Miss Camay Show. The show is possible with their sponsorship. Dina Schroeder with Nerium is a platinum sponsor on the Miss Camay Show, and we thank her so much. Also, another sponsor is Crossroads Kingdom Ministry. We want to definitely thank them for their sponsorship as well. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the beautiful Sylvia Hardie, live in the studio today. She's the author of the book Beauty School Blues and Beauty Secret Blues. And I can relate. I was in beauty school myself, so I know all about them blues. When we come back, we will definitely hear from Sylvia and all about her book. We'll be right back. Hey, 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 this is Miss Camay on the Miss Camay Show. I am live in the studio with Miss Sylvia Hardie. Hello, beautiful.
Hi, Miss Camay.
How are you today?
I'm doing fabulous. I had a wonderful trip here. It's good to be back in my hometown.
Yes.
I grew up here, and coming back from dry Las Vegas, it's a sight for sore eyes to see all this green.
Yes, I believe it. Well, Las Vegas is a desert.
It's straight desert.
Yeah.
So just, unless you're at the golf course.
Right.
You will not see green.
Or in the casino.
There you go. Money raining.
Yeah. We're going to turn up on the show today.
Yes,
you keep talking about rain and green and money.
Right.
Well, we are here in the studio today. I just want our audience to know that you traveled all the way from Las Vegas to be live in the studio today, to be my special guest. This is an exclusive interview about the book that you wrote, and we're going to share a little bit of insight about your book and really what motivated you to write and the message that you want to share and the people that you want to touch. Those are really the three topics that I want to touch on. So you come from a family of writers. Your father was a writer. You grew up here in Seattle. You lived here for how many years?
Oh, almost all my life. I'm not going to give away my age, but a lot of years.
Yeah. And you went to high school out here. You went to cosmetology school. So give me a little bit of your bio and like, 3-5 minute bio of you.
Okay. I grew up in Everett, Washington, right off Muckleton Boulevard. From there, I moved to Kirkland, where I graduated from Juanita High School. Okay. My Juanita fans out there, hi. Then from there, I went to Seattle Central Community College, and I took cosmetology. Okay. I opened my first salon when I was 22 years old. Yes. In the Seattle area. Okay. I already had 3 children by that time, and from there, I got married about 3 years later. And in my marriage, it turned out to be different than what the magazine says it was going to be. They say
the magazine, you mean society, what society tells us marriage is about?
Exactly. Yeah. You look at the bridal magazine, you're like, I want to be her, I want to be her. And then you get married, and somehow between the magazine and the I-do's, we don't know where that pretty lady in that white dress went. Yeah. Yeah, she traded it in for, just rag and some jeans. Yeah. Minivan. Yeah. So I got married, and he didn't turn out to be the person I wanted him to be. And I went through 7 years of domestic violence. I'm a domestic violence survivor. Okay, and we'll get into that more into the topic of our interview. But so you grew up here, went to school here. You have 3 beautiful children. 3 beautiful children, 3 beautiful grandchildren. Aww. I've been blessed. Yes, absolutely. How was cosmetology school for you? It was very hard. But I finished it, and then from there I was able to open up a business. And from the business, I decided when I was older to change my career. And I moved to Las Vegas initially to go to school for nursing. Okay. Once in there, I realized that I really missed that love for cosmetology. Yeah. And I became a cosmetology instructor. And I've been teaching there at one of the beauty schools up there for the last 5 years now. 5 years in Vegas. Okay, yes. Great.
I have a cosmetology background as well. So when you talk about that stuff, it inspires me. You know, I came from that industry as well. So we are going to take a short break. We're going to take just a quick short break. Don't change that dial. We'll be right back. We're going to talk more about Sylvia and her book, Beauty Secret Blues. Don't go anywhere. Hey, 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 this is Miss Camay on the Miss Camay Show. I'm live in the studio on Alternative Talk, 11:50 a.m. with the beautiful, gorgeous, fabulous Sylvia Hardie. I have a very good friend of mine, Lady Jazz. Lady Jazz, if you're listening, she's another best-selling author. Shout out to Lady Jazz. She just wrote a book, and her chapter is called 40 and Fabulous, Sexy, Savvy, and Successful. So I'm welcoming you to that club of women. We are all part of it. 40, We're 20 and some change, right?
There you go.
There. We're here today to talk about Sylvia's book, Beauty Secret Blues. Sylvia lives in Las Vegas and is a cosmetology instructor there and has wrote a book about her life. Went to cosmetology school when she was very young, had 3 young children at a young age, got married, got divorced. And right before we took our break, you shared with the audience that you were in a very abusive marriage. So share us a little bit about that, kind of your background, and then, you know, what inspired you to write this book? Because clearly it's your life that inspired you to write.
Well, what happened was after I went through that divorce, I realized that I had all these feelings and emotions that I didn't know where to put them and how to deal with them. And I kind of found my healing through writing.
Okay.
So first I put it in poetry. I would write some really heartfelt poetry. From that, my poetry seemed like they had stories, so I started writing stories to the poetry.
Okay.
And then from there, I started writing a little bit longer, little short stories. And then every time I finished the book, something would happen to it, so I wasn't able to get them published. But when I finally was able to move from this place and heal from my wounds, I seemed like I was reborn when I moved to Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I was able to start over, and I had a clearer thought, clearer direction for where I wanted my writing to go.
Okay.
And so I just one day decided to pick up my laptop and start writing about beauty school blues. And from that, I finished it in a little short story. Then I start looking at the characters and saying, well, what's their background? What's their story? And the whole thing is, when you look at us women, you think, oh, they're so beautiful.
Right.
They're so beautiful. But what is the secret?
Yeah. Right.
The secret is the blues that they conceal.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing about it is you never know their blues. And in this book, these ladies are born in a horrible situation they didn't ask for.
Right.
But the beauty of it is that when they become successful and they were able to escape this prison that they were kind of born into.
Right, as an adolescent, as a child.
Exactly. Right. Then they are able to be professional women, and no one knows their background until somebody comes back in town looking for who they are, who she is, and from who she is, she realizes the people that are around her grew up in the same situation as her.
Right.
And I love the fact that I was able to put all my feelings into the book. There's some hurt, there's some pain. You'll hate some people. I would like to think that I got that hate from that domestic violence situation.
Yeah.
So I was able to really express hate.
Yes.
And then from there, you can heal with the ladies as they are able to escape their imprisonment there.
Wow. So are you very transparent in this book? I mean, if I pick up this book and read it, and am I going to really know Sylvia Hardie?
You're going to know what I've gone through. You're going to know the stories aren't necessarily about me. It's fiction. Some people ask me, they say, is that me? Is that me? No. It's just what I was feeling at that time. And I was able to put them in characters. And all the emotions that I felt and how I felt at those times, I was able to really breathe through it to this book. And so by reading the book, it's a page turner. It's a lot of drama. It's a lot of things going on. But in there, I think you start growing with the characters. And you start kind of seeing yourself for who you are. If you were there, what would you do?
Right.
How would you live? Some of the choices you say, I would never do that. But if you were really there, wouldn't that be your choice?
Right.
Could it be your choice?
Right.
So when you look at people and you see where they are, never question why they are there or what they had to do to get there. Because if you were in that situation, what would you have done?
Right. Well, and I think oftentimes in life, you know, we can sit in a place of I don't want to say judgment, but we can sit in a place of judgment and we can say, well, if that ever happened to me, I would do this. Well, we're sitting in a position of assumption. You're assuming how you would respond. The emotions do not exist. Right. The situation does not exist. The relationship with whoever it is does not exist.
Right.
So it is impossible for somebody to say, oh, I would do this or I would do that. And I've learned that myself. You don't know what you're going to think or how you're going to feel. You don't know if you're going to react and flash on somebody, right, or if you're going to respond and actually have a moment to think about how you feel, right, and actually respond. So I think that's a very good point that you make, in writing. And when you see people, you see the beauty, you see the smile, you see the radio show, you see the car, you see the house, but you have no idea what it took for them to get there or what they struggle with every day. In this book that you wrote, you share these stories. Does it change who you are?
Yes, it does. I have talked to people who have read the book and they say, Sylvia, I go to sleep and I dream about those characters. And that's what the emotion that I wanted to put in there, because there's people going through horrible situations and we go to bed at night and we never think about them.
Right.
And maybe if you read something horrific, you'll understand that everything is not rainbows and candy. There's people out there really suffering, really going through some bad situations. And when you go to sleep at night, you should be praying for them or thinking of them. Or,
right,
if you see a neighbor and they're going through a situation, they might need that high. They might need that hug. They might need that it's going to be okay. Or you might be sitting in church next to that lady that you think everything's perfect because she's married to this wonderful man. They have the money, they have the car, they have the house, they have the picket fence. But she might need that hug because when she goes home, you don't know her secrets.
Right.
You don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
So that's important.
Yes. Have you found that by sharing your story and sharing things about you, that it actually has, in fact, touched women who can relate to a circumstance or a feeling or emotion or a life event that you've actually gone through, and it's actually inspired or encouraged them? Have you got any of that feedback?
Not really, because I wasn't really ready to even admit to the fact that I was a domestic violence survivor.
Oh.
Through this book, I'm able to say it's okay. It happened. I made a bad choice, or maybe I made a good choice with a bad person. Who knows? So since I wrote the book, like I said, I went through a healing with it. I'm able to release whatever I was holding inside, that beauty secret that I was holding inside. When I moved to another state, no one knew my background. No one knew what I had went through. And so when I start talking about it now, people look at me and they say, no, there's no way you went through that.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yes.
And now I can really relate, especially to my students. And I can kind of just look at them and I know that look in your eye, the emptiness,
yes,
where you're trying to look like everything's okay and it's not. I can identify with them and I'll just go over there and say, how was your day? I love you today.
Yes.
And she'll break down crying.
Right.
And she won't know why I know. And I say, I know.
Yeah, you recognize that.
I recognize it. I've been there.
Right.
And so this is kind of my first platform to really say, it's okay. If that's what you're going through, it's okay. Are you a bad person? No.
Right.
Sometimes you have to ride the waves until you get to the calm.
Yes, exactly. You got to keep rowing that boat. Keep rowing that boat.
That's it.
I understand you're going to give away 2 free copies of your book today,
yes,
2 autographed copies of your book today.
Yes.
So we want to welcome to any of our listening audience today to call into the studio, 425-373-5527. 425-373-5527. We're giving away 2 free autographed copies of Miss Sylvia's book. We also are doing a book signing today, right after the studio interview. Where will your book signing will be? Where are you hosting that at?
It's going to be at the Garfield Community Center. That's on 2323 East Cherry Street in Seattle, Washington.
Okay.
I hope to see everyone out there. I'd love to meet and greet and sign your book for you. It will be a pleasure.
Yes. Yeah, we're excited for that. I can't wait. We always love a good book signing. We're going to take a quick break. Hopefully during the commercial, we'll have a couple callers call in for that free book. When we come back, we're going to tell the audience where they can find you, where they can order your book, where they can connect with you on social media. After the break, we'll be right back. We are on Alternative Talk, 1150 AM, KKNW.
The search is over. You found the station that's not afraid to be different. Alternative Talk, 1150 AM.
Hey, 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 this is Miss Camay on the Miss Camay Show. We actually do have a winner who just won an autographed copy of your book. We will make the announcement of who that was in just a moment. We're live in the studio with Sylvia Hardie talking about Beauty Secret Blues, the book that she wrote, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. We're closing out our interview. This has been a great, great moment for me personally. I'm very, very, very excited that you have you accepted my invitation to come to the show and share your story. This is just the beginning for you. And you are going to be on many more radio shows, and you're going to be on TV, and your story is going to change lives. There's many, 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 many women in the world that need to hear you and read about you. Where can people find you? Where can people connect? First and foremost, where can people buy your book? If they're not here locally in Seattle, because we do broadcast live stream online. So we're touching the world today, sweetheart. We are international. So where can somebody buy your book?
You can go to my website. It's sylviahardie.com. Hardie, HARDIE.com.
Okay. And how much is the book?
The book is $16.95 online.
Online. Okay, great. And who do you want to thank? Who do you want to give a shout out to? Who's listening today that you want to thank for supporting you in this project and where you're at in life so far?
The first one I want to thank is God, of course. Yeah, He gives me the vision. He gives me the motivation. He gives me the strength to get up and keep moving when there was many days that I just didn't want to get up.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to thank my mother because she was the first one to fly from Nashville, Tennessee to Las Vegas to read my book once I finished it.
Aww.
She didn't sleep for 3 days. She went through it, and I know it wasn't easy, but she did it. And the next one I want to thank is my family, especially my sister, who came with me to the studio today. She flew down to Las Vegas for my book release, and she's coming around with me all day today. I know she's tired and probably hungry.
Yeah, she is live in the studio today with us.
Yeah. Very supportive, very supportive.
Yes.
And my 3 beautiful children, they've always pushed me, especially with my writing. I would stay up all night, and my youngest son said, Mom, I would pray to God, if my mom stays up all night, please let it be for something. Please don't let it be for nothing. So to him, my youngest baby, Devontae Johnson, I love you, baby. I didn't give up, and it was for something.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Friends and family here in Las Vegas, Seattle, Washington, that I left, and also in Las Vegas. Just the support and the love I've gotten from so many. Miss Camay, thank you so much for even inviting me and seeing that I was worth interviewing. I really appreciate that.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I want to give a shout out to Mr. E.C. Adams, who is in Australia right now. He is the intricate connecting factor between you and I. He introduced you and I several years ago when he used to perform here with Next Movement. And he's the one who told me that you wrote a book. And, immediately I wanted to talk to you about that. So I am very, very thankful and very appreciative that you made the trip out here. I don't know if you were planning on doing that, but you weren't?
No.
Okay. Well,
hey. Just for you, sweetie.
Hey. So I just want to thank you so much. This is not the end. This is just the beginning for us. We will be at the Garfield Community Center from 3 to 6. 3 to 5 for your official signing. So anybody out there that's listening, if you're not doing anything, we would love to meet you. Come and meet and greet Miss Camay and Miss Sylvia Hardie. She will be selling her book and autographing copies for you. Next week, I will have live in the studio. Etiquette is a local artist here, and he has some friends in town today celebrating a birthday and a graduation. I just want to give them a big shout out. We're very excited for our interview next week. He'll be live in the studio. He's dropping his album. He's going to have a launch party on April 5th, and we're very, very excited for that. I want to give a shout out to Etiquette and his crew. They will be out in Belltown tonight celebrating, so if you're out there, look for that guy. You can't miss him. This is Miss Camay on the Miss Camay Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will be live in the studio next Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Alternative Talk, 11:50 a.m.